If you think about the kind of events that are going on around the world, corporate media tends to turn it on its head with the real news that was sort of interesting. It's actually turned things back on its feet so that you can actually understand the reason for certain types of events.
The world's developed economies have slid into recession, according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and will shrink further in 2009. In its latest economic forecasts, the Paris-based organization representing democracies with market economies said gross domestic product was likely to fall by 0.3% in 2009 for its 30 member countries. It said the U.S. economy would contract by 0.9%, Japan's by 0.1%, and the euro area by 0.5%.
Well, this is obviously not a very positive outlook that we're presenting. We basically say that the OECD is in recession and that the OECD is going to stay in recession for some time to come, and that the subsequent recovery is going to be a relatively slow one. We recognize that there are large uncertainties around that outcome, but I think the basic message is that we are in for a very troubled period.
Growth in Germany, Europe's largest economy, will slow to a standstill next year, according to the government's independent panel of economic advisors. The five-member panel predicted zero growth in 2009, following growth of 1.7% this year. In addition, they forecast that the number of unemployed Germans would rise to an average of 3.3 million in 2009, which represents the highest unemployment figures in 16 years. Given the economic pessimism, the group known in Germany as the Five Wise Men called for the government to undertake an economic stimulus package as quickly as possible.
Endless wars, abuse of powers, declining living standards, and the climate change crisis. The stakes couldn't be greater in the U.S. 2008 presidential elections. And with your help, we're moving our news operation to Washington, D.C., where we'll focus on money and corruption. For example, big oil and arms companies shape American economic and foreign policy with far-reaching effects on the lives of ordinary people. With allies in government, trade unions, the media, and in think tanks, they're a hidden hand that controls the commanding heights of American politics. Taking on the industrial military complex is what real change requires. Even former presidents and high administration officials have said so. But corporate television news treats such positions as marginal. Well, we think it's the decisive issue in the coming presidential elections. Uncompromising journalism requires questioning assumption, interrogating structures of wealth and power. Corporate TV news just won't do it. Only a news organization that's truly independent can tackle such issues with courage and tenacity. And we'll take on corporate TV news live. You'll watch TV news with our panel of writers, journalists, scientists, and historians. You'll be able to join in by phone, webcam, chat. Together we'll discuss and debate what's the real story and take on the myth and the propaganda. But this is only possible if you support us now. We need to prove that a viewer-funded model works. So if you want the real news, we need you now. Please click on the donate button and give generously. Now's the time to decide if you want the real news to thrive.
Your tax-deductible donation makes it possible. Please contribute at therealnews.com.